Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate Tour Reviews, taking a look at Lowe's today. I was walking over here, saw these Klein Tools 3-piece screwdriver set. They are talking about it being American forged, made in the USA. I'm not a huge fan of the cushion grip screwdrivers myself. It's not really like what I like to use, but I know they're actually pretty popular, of course. We also have some of these linesman pliers for about 30 bucks, made in the USA here. That is pretty cool. I like that kind of styling on there. That looks pretty neat. Grips feel pretty good. I'm actually curious how all these are actually going to hold up. And they're saying, made in the USA, American forged, not just assembled in the USA. That's a big, big difference. If you ever see that where it says assembled in the USA, that's different. That means they're making the parts somewhere else, and they're just putting together like Legos, in the U.S., which that doesn't really count. It's kind of trying to just get around it. We have some of these. How do you pronounce this? Is it Wheela, something like that? These are on clearance for $4.57. I know these bits are pretty good, but I don't know. I feel like I'm still paying. How many bits are even in here? What is that? 7 pieces for $4? I feel like that's still overpriced there. Wait, why do we have two different pricing? Isn't this the same thing? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the same ones. $5.17 and $4.57. So if you want to get them, grab them from the left side. They're a little bit cheaper there. Well, let's see what else we can find here. Tough Built. I don't know how well Tough Built is doing. It seems like the stuff's moving. I know it's getting a lot of publicity on YouTube. I've seen a lot of people use this stuff. So I don't know how well they're doing right now, but it definitely seems like some really cool stuff. Let's go. They have a Stack Tech cargo courier. I think I've covered that before too. That thing's pretty sweet. Did they clip in or something there? I know they've still got the ratchet straps on there and everything too. Yeah, locks into place. There we go. So that is pretty cool to see. Oh, we have some type of Irwin clearance going on here. A lot of the Irwin stuff right now hitting clearance, especially a lot of these chisel sets here. That's pretty interesting. They're doing the side strike thing here. That's kind of interesting. I see what they're trying to get at when you can kind of, take off a corner or something there. That's kind of cool. But I mean, not crazy. $4 off here, $3 off here, $6 off here. It's not like it's like crazy cheap, like, wow, run to Lowe's right now and pick it up right now. But definitely, a pretty decent deal here. So that's like $1 off down there. So nothing too crazy going on here for clearance. We are seeing clearance though happening again. So that is pretty cool to see. I don't know how much we're going to really see this year. I know we have stuff sitting, but I know Lowe's and Home Depot have kind of anticipated some more stuff sitting. So we haven't really seen a lot of the new stuff come out recently right now. That's been an issue. I'll give you a good example of that is miter saws. We haven't really seen a lot of miter saws come out. 2, 3, 4 years back, we were seeing like a new miter saw every few months would come out, like, oh, the new miter saw from DeWalt, new one from, Makita, new one from Metabo, new one from Milwaukee. But we haven't really seen a lot of that right now. We're just kind of seeing deals on the, current stuff that's been out for a little while now. And, honestly, we're seeing new stuff with miter saws here and there, but there's not like any major breakthroughs with miter saws been happening recently. Some Metabo stuff, they've come up with a few new things, Makita's been super stagnant, just like Milwaukee. They haven't really come up with a lot of new miter saws at all recently. DeWalt kind of always been the king of miter saws. Have not heard really anything from miter saws from DeWalt, which has been kind of interesting there. So hopefully, maybe later this year, maybe 2026, we'll see some new miter saws happen, which would be really neat. See anything new from Craftsman here? We got a small overdrive set here down to $70. Not a bad deal, 64-piece set. $99 deals on the 230 pieces from the mechanic sets. Not too bad there. Nothing crazy. Of course, we got a ton of Klein stuff here. I've covered this in a few previous videos. Tons of this stuff here. I don't know what's moving or anything, but there is a lot of it here. And we've got some Cobalt stuff here going on. Some clearance here. This is kind of all here last time I was here as well, too. Nothing that's like, wow, grab that right now. Nothing that's like in crazy deals that's happening here. I try to stick under $1 a piece is what I like to go for. So if, say, for example, we have, a 228-piece set, $150, that's what I like to be at for that kind of stuff. So you see stuff like, that's going to be more than what the cost of it is. Like here, 19-piece set for $30. Not going to pay that, that's kind of pricey there. So I like to always kind of stick that under $1 a piece, and usually you're good to go from there. A couple of the socket sets here. 20 bucks is not too bad of a price. It's 10 bucks off there. They got the, what is this, SE and Metric. SE always doesn't sell as well as Metric, of course. I really don't even use SE that much. I've got a couple of sets of it, and I mean, man, I probably every 50 times I pull a Metric out, I pull an SE out, so it's quite rare there. T-handle hex key sets here, a couple bucks off here, down from 40 down to 33. I know those have kind of always kind of sat for the most part. We've got wrenches here, 30 bucks here for a 7-piece. That's kind of pricey. If that was ratcheting, that might be worth it. Of course, here's the ratcheting flex heads, are 10 bucks off, down to 60 bucks. So that's pretty sweet there. Ooh, check this out. We got the little mini set here. I will say, I've been looking at some, is it AliExpress, I think it's pronounced? I'm looking at AliExpress recently, and you can basically find these exact same sets on there for really cheap. I might do a video on that. Be transparent, I have been sponsored by AliExpress once for one video, but I no longer have that sponsorship, so it'll be totally unsponsored if I do anything with AliExpress in the future. I'm looking at some tools on there. There is some interesting stuff definitely to find there. And they do have some offering their shipping from the US now, which is kind of cool. So they're having a lot faster shipping. I ordered a little game console thing from them recently, waiting for it to come in, hopefully this week. And it was like 26 bucks. So kind of cool stuff there. So I always love exploring other options to pick up stuff really cheap. I know this thing's still on sale, and of course no one is grabbing this here, because the biggest complaint I see with this set here, and they've been selling this thing forever, is it's way too spread out, unfortunately. You know, if you put this stuff in your tool chest, you're wasting a ton of space. It's a really bad design. I don't know why they didn't just kind of compress this all down way farther. It really doesn't make any sense to me. But 155 bucks, if you just need the parts, it's honestly a great deal. You get about 50 cents a piece, which is a phenomenal deal there. So I'd say go for that then. Metabo, we have some new roofing nailers, new framing nailers. I will be covering one of these here in the future. But yeah, we got some new stuff here. They finally came out with their roofing nailer. Pricey as expected, of course, at 430 bucks. Not unexpected there. Brad nailer, that's the newer one here. Kind of they still sell the other one. It's been a little confusing. It's not their premium one. This is like their mid-range one. They don't really have a low end, but that's not their premium Brad nailer. It's like their new, like, just standard, you know, run-of-the-mill one. And then we have the roofing nailer over here. That's a big box right there, so that is pretty cool. This is where Metabo, of course, once was in a lot of Lowe's. It's been replaced with Skil now, so Skil's kind of got a much larger section here. Some of the Skil deals, man, are just crazy. Even this is an awesome kit here. 5-piece toolkit, $129. Comes with 2 batteries, charger. You can't beat that. That's a pretty sweet deal there. And a lot of the Skil stuff is honestly awesome deals. Check us out. Here we go with a 3/8" impact wrench, 69 bucks. That is an awesome deal there. You really can't beat that. I don't know why the ratchet is so expensive here. What is a 3/8" ratchet? 100 bucks. I don't know why the impact is kind of a weird price point there, but okay. And they've got a sander there, which is cool. Light, you know, it's all pretty solid deals here. What do we have here? A deal on a starter kit. Is that a charger? Oh, it's 2-way USB-C charging. That's kind of cool. So any USB-C charger will charge that. That's pretty cool. And then down to 30 bucks. That's actually a pretty sweet deal. So they've got a lot of stuff going for Skil. It's one of those brands I don't really have a reason to get into it at all, so I'm not really going to cover it. But I hear a lot of good stuff about it, so that's pretty cool. All right, so we have all the Metabo stuff here. There is one little deal going on here. A 1/4" impact driver bit set, 50-piece. When you buy, of course, a impact driver, that's going to be your item number 5276277. I wish they would just show which one that was. It's like, come on, you know. Probably one of these down there. Probably is that one, actually. I can't see, of course, the model number on there, but that's probably it. Flex here. They're doing a free starter pack with, of course, the Flex Nailer Air Stapler. That's still been going on, I think, all this month, which is pretty cool. Behind me, we, of course, have Bosch. Is there anything new from Bosch? Still the same. Buy a select starter kit or tool kit. That's kind of cool. What's going on there? Let's go check over some of the nailers here. I haven't really covered that recently. Of course, we got the Bosch Tick nailers. Is that how they pronounce it? Is it Bosch Tish? Something like that? Bosch? Something like that. Craftsman nailers here. Haven't heard really much of these at all. I don't really see a lot of reviews done on this stuff. Of course, it's all, you know, kind of similar to the DeWalt stuff. We're using a lot of the same technology in there. Metabo HPT nailers, that's their big thing, is their nailers. They've got a ton of this stuff. They've got more floor space for nailers than they do actually for their tools. It's like half a bay for the tools, and then it's like a full two bays for the nailers, which is pretty cool. They, of course, got a ton of pneumatic, ton of cordless stuff here. And is that a clearance deal? Yeah, they got a clearance deal on the older framing nailer. What is that, $70-ish off there? So that's not too bad, if you can find one. And what do we have down here? Clearance on some more of the nailers. Nice, $100 off on these. I believe there's all pneumatic down here, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, let's see, they got another deal here. That's gonna be your framing nailer down there. That's the cordless one. Let's see, I think that's about it for all the nailer deals. Oh, they got more over here too. Yeah, $100 off here, $100 off here. So that's pretty cool. They've got a lot of deals going on their nailers. I know that they're coming out with a couple of new ones right now, so that'd be really cool to see what they're gonna do with those. Oh, what do we see here? This deal's back, $60 for a Craftsman drill. Not a bad deal, you know, for like a first drill, you need an extra drill somewhere. This deal comes back all the time. I wouldn't say it's a good drill by any means, but it's a $60 drill with battery and charger, so there you go. Two-tool combo kit, impact, two batteries, drill, impact, and of course a charger for $100. That's a sweet deal. I'd probably say spend the money on this, get the extra battery pack, of course, get the impact. You're spending $40 more. There you go. Not a bad deal there. Let's talk generators for a second here. I did a couple experiments, couple of videos on gas versus electric generators. Now, depending on what you're doing, I would say like if you're overlanding, you're based out of like a truck, small SUV, mid-size, large SUV. Yeah, then again, it makes total sense to go, of course, with a battery generator. Grab a solar panel. It's not cheap by any means. I've got a couple of them myself. They are definitely expensive. If you're doing something at your house where size is not an issue, you can definitely get gas easy. Just go gas. I thought we'd be able to do, you know, running off our fridges and stuff when we had the hurricane come through last year. No way. You gotta just go gas. I'm huge into, you know, any cordless options, any battery options, but when it comes to gas, it's just way cheaper, way more powerful, and just lasts way longer. That's my 2 cents on that. I'm hoping to be proven wrong eventually on that, but I was all for, you know, battery power stuff. Unfortunately, it's just not there just yet, is my opinion. My 2 cents on that. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. So this is the clearance aisle of my Lowe's. It kind of changes every once in a while. Stuff moves around here and there. But they throw a lot of stuff kind of just basically there, down, clearance. It kind of rotates from different stuff here. Not seeing much here right now. They'll throw like, you know, some of these fire pit covers here on clearance here and there. This will kind of be really full during the holiday time. So there's nothing new clearance here they're putting back here. Sometimes you might see tools depending on the Lowe's. I've seen random tools down like one aisle, and I'm like, why is there like 15 tools down here on clearance for no reason? No idea. But you always kind of look around your Lowe's. Every Lowe's is gonna be slightly different where they put their clearance stuff. Are you gonna find good deals? Maybe, maybe not. But worth checking around every couple times you're at Lowe's. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today, guys. Thanks for watching. Of course, keep your eyes out for any new tool deals, any new tools right now. We'll see what happens when we get into summer, especially the holiday season this year. I'm quite excited about, so we'll see what happens there. But guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.